Yes, thank you, Tim. So we're less than 10 minutes away from the kick-off. Very dull and grey here, but thankfully it's dry and there's a good buzz around the ground as well. Hopefully anticipating a good contest between these two sides. Very quickly, the team news: Woking making two changes following the exit from the FA Cup last weekend. Dale Gorman comes into midfield. Jack Stretton earns a place up front with Dion Moore. He played very well in midweek in the National League Cup against the Southampton under-21s. Ian Nicholson alongside me for full online commentary. Woking not having the best of run. It is a lean spell, but I think if nothing else right now, they are competitive in most, if not all, of the games.
I think that's right. I'm just thinking off the top of my head, normally if there's been a loss, there's been a lot of draws, and if there's been a loss, it's usually been by a single goal. So certainly Woking are competitive. I think you don't need to be a football genius to know that the issue is in the goals being scored, and I think you can see by the changes that Michael Dawes been doing in recent weeks up front, Dion Moore coming in more, and now with Stretton playing as well, he's trying to shuffle the pack really to find that elusive magic that will produce a few goals.
Keane Harris missing his first league match for the club. Does that surprise you?
I think back three, because they started with a back five for much of the season. The back three have all performed well. Odysseina brings a real athleticism to the defence. Max Dyche has been very solid. And there's sometimes a feeling that I think with Dale Gorman playing and with Keane Harris playing, they're both quite similar in terms of they love to ping out the long ball wide and be like a quarterback player, and a playmaker. And but for whatever reason, the manager feels he needs to ring the changes. So a surprise? No, not really. I think it's a shuffling of the pack. Again, looking for the right mix.
And just finally, Ian, Dion Moore in the side today. So Michael Doyle is still persisting with a striker yet to score this season for Woking, whereas Lewis Walker took two very good goals in midweek against the Southampton under-21s. He's going to feel a little aggrieved that he's still on the bench, isn't he?
Possibly. I mean, Lewis Walker's started a lot of the games this season, and Dion Moore, I've been at the games he's played and he's performed very well. He brings a real physical presence, he works his socks off, and it's about making chances for other players as well as his own scoring. So I think I understand why he's persisting, and I think he started well. And again, I think it's the fact that Michael Doyle looking to find the right mix, if you like, in his team.
Okay, many thanks, Ian. As the teams are about to come out, you can hear full match online commentary on the BBC Sport website, and we will have updates from 3 o'clock, Tim. And welcome to our online commentary on the BBC Sport website. Wherever you are listening to us, a very warm welcome to you from West Yorkshire. FC Halifax Town against Woking. We are covering the National League this afternoon. FC Halifax Town lying in 10th position. Woking nearer the bottom of the table. Now, before I give you the important team news, of course, it is an extremely important weekend. We have Remembrance Sunday tomorrow, and as a mark of respect, we will now observe a 2-minute silence to remember all those who have fallen, serving our country with distinction around the country and the world, giving us the freedom we are so fortunate to enjoy today, as both groups of players just now form on the edge of the centre circle
grow old, as we that are left grow old, age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn.
Just seeing the two captains
Going down of the sun,
shaking
and
hands.
in the morning, he will remember them.
And here is the last post. Well, there was, as you would have heard, a spontaneous ripple of applause following the last post, but after that, the 2-minute silence was beautifully respected. So it's 3 o'clock exactly. Hopefully the weather is a little kinder where you are. Not that it's too bad here, I hasten to add, in West Yorkshire. Typical autumnal fare, I would think you could say. Rather grey, rather cloudy, a bit of a chill in the air. No wind to speak of whatsoever. But every cloud has a silver lining, and I'm glad to say that Ian Nicholson is with me for this game today.
That's nice of you, Bernard. And the silver lining, which is lovely. I like to see a silver lining. Yeah. I love coming to Halifax. Been here many times now, and Woking often have done pretty well here. And it's a great. It's not a little club, great club, and a good stadium, and always a warm welcome. So warm welcome with people, not always with the weather. So,
and here we go. We are underway with Woking kicking off from right to left in the first half. So the team news, in case you've not heard it in the preview on BBC Radio Surrey between 2 and 3 o'clock. Michael Doyle making 2 changes following the 1-0 exit at the hands of Cambridge United in the first round of the FA Cup. A sterling performance, just edged out by the League One side, as Halifax just defending at the moment with one of 4 changes they've made. Alimi Aditoro. So I'll give you the team news in full once we get an opportune moment in this game, as Dion Moore just comes short to pick up this throwing. The attempted cross from Dan Moss is charged down, takes a throw quickly, linking up once again with Moore. As Gorman, one of 2 changes, seemed to just drop onto the knees of Harry Buteman, but the referee, I think, is claiming that the midfielder may have handled that ball in the process. Free kick for FC Halifax Town. A. Nicholson.
Yeah, first comment is it looks as though Woking reverted to a back 3 with Chickson and Moss as then the wide people. So Dion Kelly-Evans is playing on the left of the back 3 as far as I can see.
So the lineup with Jaskalainen, Kelly-Evans, Odesina, Dyche and Chickson. Moss, Gorman, Buteman and Andrews, with Stretton and Moore up front. So Gorman in the side, as I've mentioned. Jack Stratton, the other change, scored in midweek in the National League Cup. I'm not sure if you were at that game yourself, Ian, but I've heard reports that he played very well.
Yeah, I wasn't actually, but I did watch it on the stream. And yes, you're right, Woking, I think at the end they were holding on a bit, whether that was fitness or whatever, but for much of the game they went behind 2-0, and then for the rest of the game really were very dominant and good passing football.
FC Halifax Town, 4 changes for them. Alimi Aditoro, Angelo Capello, Tom Pugh and Jack Jenkins coming in after that 2-1 defeat at the hands of York City right here. They were leading 1-0 in that game through an early goal from Cook, only to concede it with 2 late goals in injury time. You're missing nothing here, by the way. And they line up with Johnson, their longest serving player at the club. In fact, first joined the club something like 10 years ago while on loan. Made his move permanent in 2017. And he's been pretty much an every present ever since, as Jaskalainen on the edge of his 6-yard box, just playing it short to Odesina. Closed down very quickly by Hottie. Back to Jaskalainen and scoops the ball towards the halfway line, just beyond Moss. So just continuing with the lineup for FC Halifax Town. In defence, Cummings, Smith, Aditoro, Senior, Jenkins, Pugh and Capello across the middle with Waters and Cook. 2 very lively strikers up front for FC Halifax Town. Nothing to report so far in the opening 4 minutes. Both teams just getting a feel for each other. And Woking in their white and red halves for their jerseys, black shorts, black socks as well, and they have possession just inside their own half. Lovely turn from Andrews, finds space and picks out Odesina down along the ground towards Moss, drills it towards Moore, making the run, but ahead of him is Aditoro. And Campello just winning the tussle initially against Moss, but Moss wins it back. And Dyche for the away side. Chickson's pass rather heavy back towards Dyche, but he controls it on the chest. And Woking just enjoying a nice spell of possession at the moment here.
They are pushing around mainly at the back, but building a rhythm and nothing's on, then pulling it back to the back two to recycle.
I think it's always important at the start of a game just to get those few first touches of the ball, just to ease your way into the game as Gorman lifts one down the right hand side. Odotoro was aware of Stratton behind him, also Moore takes no chances, concedes the throw down the right hand side for Woking. Gorman the nearest player to him, Moore trying to make himself available, busy inside the penalty area, drops short, takes a bounce near the byline, gets it back towards Moss, who lifts it into the area. Powerful header away from Senior, could fall kindly now for Waters near the halfway line, but a cross is Dyche, I think, with a header for a throw to FC Halifax Town.
Yeah, Max Dyche, very positive interception there, and a good clearing header, and he's been excellent this season for Woking, and it's good to see Timmy Odesina back in the back as well with his athleticism really, and he's been a big miss this year.
Moore with a good flick on towards Stratton, tries to link up again with his fellow striker, but the pass towards him is too heavy, and FC Halifax Town have a throw in the left back position. Elimi Odotoro normally plays as a central defender, but he's playing down the right hand side today in the absence of Ryan Calvin. Odesina allowing the ball to drop, he's caught napping though. Chance for FC Halifax Town to break, and then he concedes the free kick. But just a moment of sloppiness there from Odesina.
Yeah, I think he was waiting for the ball to go out, and it was one of those ones that was just lingering on the touchline and didn't go, and Halifax nipped in front of him. And often, I mean, there he drew the foul, but often Odesina's athleticism and pace will get him out of those situations. But a free kick now for Halifax, an offensive free kick, an attacking free kick.
And Hotty will take this. Florent Hotty will swing in, left-footed beyond the penalty spot near the near the back post. Shot fizzed in from Jamie Cook, takes a deflection, corner for the home side. Playing towards the right. Actually, the stand behind Jaskalainen's goal is empty, not open to the public, but I can see 5 very large FC Halifax Town flags, 4 smaller ones as well. Capello has a chance to shoot from about 35 yards out. Closed down very quickly by Kelly Evans. Swung in again towards the back post, and Beautyman just ducks underneath it and allows the ball to run out for a goal kick for the away side. Still as yet untroubled, 0-0.
Yeah, quiet start to the game really, and players, both teams sizing each other up and looking at how the game might build from here.
Just one win away from home in the league for Woking so far. That was courtesy of a 3-0 win at Ebbsfleet United, the club propping up the National League table. That came in the back end of August. As Stratton goes down, clutching the back of his head, wins a free kick. One of the Town players clambering all over him.
Yes, that was in the middle. That Ebbsfleet win was part of a 3-game winning run for Woking, which really looked to see the Cards looking very positively up the table. Obviously, since then it's been a lot more stop-start. But that was an excellent performance, the Ebbsfleet performance.
And they'll certainly be hoping for a better outcome than they did when they last played here in February. They went down 2-1. Gorman over this as Andrews runs over the ball. Gorman whips the ball in, not a bad cross. Odotoro with the clearance. Every outfield player for Halifax back inside their own half. Jaskalainen clears well outside his box. A very high looping ball straight down the middle. Powerful header though from Will Smith, the former Harrogate Town defender. Actually went up with them when they were promoted from the National League, and he has certainly made a very good impression here at the West Yorkshire club. This time Jääskeläinen swings the ball down towards this near side. Kelly Evans just mistimes his clearance, allowing FC Halifax Town to regather possession. Lovely passing field, warmly applauded by the home fans. Oditoro infield to Hottie, now with Cook, back to Hottie, straight into Jääskeläinen, the first opportunity of the game following that swift move from FC Halifax Town, but it's straight into the arms of Jääskeläinen, 0-0.
Yeah, good build up there from Halifax and laying it off, and it came to Hottie, who got it fairly cleanly but didn't really trouble Will Jääskeläinen, has his body fully behind it and could regather.
Now into the 11th minute. Capello trying to just drill one down the left hand side.
My first impression of Halifax is they've been quite direct, quite a lot of long balls forward, and particularly I would imagine looking for Jamie Cook. Billy Waters, the other striker, who's had a great season under Pete Wild here a few years ago before moving to the league with Wild, but he's back here, and he's a lot smaller, so he probably wouldn't be the target man.
Moss looking for the early run of Stretton, as Johnson just has to wait patiently for the ball just to almost roll agonisingly into the penalty area. Pretty much all in green is Sam Johnson, and he overbowls the ball out to Oditoro, gets his bearings all wrong, very tight against the left-hand touchline, goes straight out to play. The floodlights are beaming down, can already see the shadows casting across the pitch. And Woking have this throw right on the halfway line. A very quiet opening, but that's not necessarily a bad thing for Woking. They've looked comfortable in possession, and they come forward again as Kelly Evans, and that's the curse from the commentator there, because Kelly Evans gives the ball away. Luckily for him, Odesina sweeps up, finds Gorman, early ball right down the middle, and it almost found Stretton, but across his Oditoro, but he makes a mistake, and Stretton did really well with a snapshot from a tight angle, forcing Johnson to dive at the near post and put it out for a corner.
Yeah, I mean, you could say, well, that's a speculative opportunity, but I think it was on target, and it really bounced just before the keeper, and but well saved.
And that's just a flash of what he can do, Jag Stretton. Just to let you know that during our online commentary we'll be giving updates with BBC Radio Surrey. Swung in by Moss, towards a near post, fitted away by Johnson, and Waters completes the clearance. It's now Capello. They're streaming forward at FC Halifax Town, but Gorman was there almost on the halfway line to intercept. Back come the home side again. Senior halfway inside the working half, skips in field away from Beautyman, plays it square, backtracking is Capello. Up against Moss, edge of the area, cuts inside, edge of the area, shoots! Oh, and it's in! He's found a way into the net, and Woking, just as though they were getting themselves into the game with that chance from Stretton at the other end. It's the home side who break the deadlock, and they lead 1-0.
Yeah, and the Halifax player jinked around the edge of the area, made space, hit it, and have to see that again. It looked too easy. Maybe every goal's like that, but Woking yet again now with a mountain to climb.
Well, it was good play from Capello initially, the way he cut inside. Moss found that pocket of space on the edge of the area, but Jääskeläinen was almost rooted to the spot, seemed to be convinced that it was going wide. But in any event, Woking are trailing by 1-0 inside the opening 15 minutes. Capello, one of the inclusions in the starting lineup today. Here's Moore, turns and on the edge of the shot, does really well just to spin and get the shot away, but it's straight into the arms of Johnson. Good response from Woking.
Good response from Woking, and Moore turned really well there, and also a couple of players on hand had it rebounded back, but the keeper Johnson he held it well. Otherwise, there are a couple of Woking players breathing down his neck.
Loved a very quiet opening 10 minutes. The game has suddenly burst into life. Odesina was having to concede the corner as it bounced off his knees. On the home side, have a throw down the far side. In fact, the home side enjoyed an early goal against the leaders York City. Cook scoring on that occasion, almost notching up a very good win, only to be denied in injury time with 2 late strikes. And Woking really have to be careful now and concentrate. There's Hottie turning Gorman one way then another. Capella, the goal scorer, tries to get away from Moss. Moss just toe pokes the ball away, and it's picked up again by Town, who cleared through the goalkeeper Johnson straight down the middle. Dyche with his head to it, and it's nodded back by Moss. Still 1-0 Woking trail as we have now gone beyond 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a story of Woking season to be coming from behind, and they find themselves doing it again, and we'll have to dig deep really to get back into this game. The good thing is an early goal, lots of time to put things right.
Yep, that's absolutely true. And Woking aren't panicking at the moment, as Moore just drops a little deeper, just ahead of the centre circle. Kelly Evans has some space down the left into Moore. The first time lie off to Andrews. The pass away from Gorman, picked up by Moss. And now it's back in the centre circle with Dyche. Drills the ball onto this near side. Every outfield player was just for a moment, at least for the home side, inside their own half. Here's Odesina. Runs a few yards into the feet of Moss, now with Gorman. Pings the ball crossfield, looking for Moore. Looking to get behind Odetoro. Odetoro wins the header. Hottie, downward header towards Cook. Now all of a sudden it's Jenkins in the centre circle. Releases Hottie down the inside right and pings an early effort, which was swinging away with the outside of his right foot, but Jääskeläinen well behind that. That was an easy one for him to take.
Down at the other end, Jamie Andrews has stayed down after a clash of heads. I don't think it's serious. I think he'll be up in a minute.
Yes, there has, but unfortunately it's gone to the home side. FC Halifax Town 1, Woking 0, and Woking were just actually growing into the game when they conceded the goal through Capello. Just dancing in from the left-hand side, found a pocket of space, struck from the edge of the area. Jääskeläinen appeared to be rooted to the spot. He seemed to think that the ball was going wide, but it nestled in the bottom right-hand corner. But Woking have had their chances before the opening goal. In fact, Stretton just latching from a mistake from Odetoro. Snapshot from a tight angle, good save from Johnson, and then after Woking conceded that goal, Dion Moore with a neat spin and turn, but he shot straight into the arms of Johnson. So Woking are playing relatively well, Tim, but they are losing by 1-0. And welcome back to our online commentary. Just a break in play at the moment, as Ian was mentioning. Andrews just receiving some treatment. He is back on his feet, but he may just need a little more attention. He's just rubbing the back of his head, so we just possibly may need to check how he is. Well, he's rubbing the back of his head, but he's only going back onto the edge of the touchline to come back onto the pitch, so I think he's going to be absolutely okay to get back onto the field of play. So not the perfect start for Woking, trailing by 1-0. Still playing with 10 at the moment. Are the away side. Gorman lifts one, right-footed towards the edge of the box. It bounces towards Stretton, jostling for it with Smith. Moss battles for the ball. He can't believe he's given away a free kick right under the eyes of the assistant referee on the far side.
Yeah, he didn't initially flag, and then whether there was some communication between the referee and the assistant referee, I don't know, but Jamie Andrews comes back onto the pitch. Big challenge, of course, for Woking here is that Halifax have an excellent defensive record. They outside of the top two, I think they've got the best defensive record in the league, and Woking's isn't bad, but it's I think they've only conceded 16 all season, so Woking have a solid defence they now need to break down.
But ironically enough, Ian, they haven't kept a clean sheet at home, and in the last 3 games they have actually conceded 2 goals.
Oh, there you go, there's always hope.
Absolutely, so don't give up quite yet, Ian. In fact, if anything, they're even tighter, even more miserly away from home than they are here.
Yeah, so there's hope in statistics.
Absolutely. If you look a little deeper, you can always find a chink of light. Here come the home side. Cook backing into Kelly Evans, and the away side just having to defend. But there's good pressing from Stretton, forcing Oditoro to play back to Johnson. He's got Will Smith next to him, goes long towards the halfway line, bounces off the chest of Cook. Couldn't really control that very well. But here's Will Smith. Neat turn from Capello, tries to get away from Moss. Moss stands up to him well and picks up possession. Backs into Capello, then heads towards the halfway line. And Woking are more than happy at times, Ian, just to go back, start again if you like, and see what they can engineer.
And I think that's been the pattern of the season, really. I think there's been that patient build-up, and often it's whether the chances can be fashioned.
And they've won possession again. You might have just heard a few moans and groans from the home fans as they saw a chance to possibly break into the Woking half, but that did not materialise. And Woking pick up possession again, looking relatively comfortable on the ball, but they are losing by 1-0. Angelo Capello cutting in from the left to beat Jaskalainen. Deitch turns away from Hottie, straight back towards Jaskalainen. Woking looking very positive at the moment. Chickson and Moss pushing right up alongside the 2 strikers, about 15 yards inside the town half. Here's Deitch in the heart of the Woking defence. He's allowed just to come forward, then pings one straight down the middle. Doesn't quite find Stretton. Once again, Oditoro is the man to get in the way. But not for the first time, Ian. Those through balls, I think they could get something out of that. That seems to be a tactic that could work for them.
I think it's the patience, and then how clinical those balls are. And I've been impressed with Stretton. I think he's working hard. He's moving a lot up front. And
just seeing a misplaced pass from Andrews, had the right idea, lifting the ball over Senior. Would have found Kelly Evans, but it was just too heavy for Kelly Evans, and out it goes for a throw to be taken by Cummings. Gets it into the Woking half, but again Max Deitch just mops up the loose ball, and Jaskalainen in a luminous yellowy green kind of outfit today. Do you know, these goalkeepers these days, they do wear some garish outfits, don't they?
I know, you need sunglasses, don't you?
Mind you, if I was a goalkeeper, I think I'd wear something like that. Here's Deitch. Intelligent ball, picks out Moore. Down the left-hand side this time, up against Cummings. He's got Kelly Evans for support. Short pass inside to Andrews may consider a cross. He's near the byline. Attempts one, wins the corner. No, he hasn't. It's a throw.
Oh, that's difficult. I think he looks to have done everything there to win the corner, but it's Kelly Evans now with the throw.
More available. Coming short now. Picks up. And here's Chickson. Bends a delicious looking ball over to the far post, and Johnson was definitely scrambling. Gorman, shot charged down by Hottie. Acrobatic clearance by Auditoro. Gets it away for FC Halifax Town. Here they come again, the away side. Enjoying good possession at the moment. Chickson has to just keep that ball in play. Into the feet of Moore. Not a great first touch. Controls it well. Back to Chickson. Andrews just slows the move for Woking back down again. And once again, FC Halifax Town are camped inside their own half. Beautyman. Into the feet of Andrews. Turns. Chickson. It's back inside the Woking half though. And he lifts it forward, looking for the run of Moore. Can't get beyond the head of Cummings. Out for a throw. But at the moment, Ian Nicholson, the signs from a Woking perspective are positive.
Yeah, a lot of possession, and that beautiful ball in by Chickson, which really tested the keeper and had a couple of Woking players looking to get on the end of the cross, but a little bit more positive from Woking.
Beautyman expecting a free kick for a push in the back, not given. Waters almost bursting through. Up steps Dyche again. Lovely pass between two Town players. Up to Stretton, 25 yards out. Gets it to the left hand side. Kelly Evans up against Senior, twisting him one way and then another. Dyche short towards Chickson. That wasn't a great pass, and Chickson with a hurried pass back to Jaskalainen. But every now and again, despite the position they're enjoying, Woking are just capable of making that forced error, or unforced error, I should say.
Yeah, and I think Woking Halifax are defending deep. They know how Woking like to play, and looking to really soak up the pressure and then hit on the break, like now.
Beautiful control by Waters, and then Pugh tries to get Cook away, but a back for Woking is Odesina. Does really well actually just to shake off Cook. And Dyche gets things moving again. Slight glance from Stretton. Doesn't quite find Moore. And once again the home side can come away with it again. Unimpeded this time is Auditoro, reaching the halfway line. And Hottie scored Halifax Town's second goal here between the two sides. It was something of a nightmare for Alexis Andre, the goalkeeper that day for Woking, at fault for both goals. In fact, Town scored their first goal direct from a corner. And here he is again, the goal scorer, flicks the ball in field, but he's given it away. Moore cutting in from the right hand side, releasing Stretton, who fires one in first time, but it's past the near post. But he's not afraid of trying, is he?
No.
Stretton, another effort at goal, but it goes wide. 1-0 FC Halifax Town lead.
No, Stratton's had two half chances and pulled the trigger both times, and I like to see that in a striker. And Woking have got a job here to break down Halifax. They're defending deep. They know how Woking like to build up, and they're soaking up the pressure, and then they're dangerous on the break. And we've already said they have a miserly defence, so it's gonna take something to really get back on level terms here.
Cheap free kick given away by Cook. Still FC Halifax Town 1, Woking 0. We have another update coming with BBC Radio Surrey shortly. Still a one goal separating these two sides. Free kick on the halfway line to be taken by Jaskalainen. Town with quite a high line, 10 yards beyond the 18-yard box. Jaskalainen takes it. So it's still 1-0 for FC Halifax Town, but Woking have enjoyed a lot of possession. And Jack Stretton, coming into the side today, had another chance at goal from a very tight angle, took it first time. It was always going wide, but it's definitely the sign of a player very much with confidence right now. Adam Chickson, meanwhile, had a very good cross from the left-hand side that had Johnson, the goalkeeper, scrambling, but Woking couldn't make the most of it as Hottie just finds one over for FC Halifax Town. And Woking, after the half-hour mark, still trailed by 1-0. So welcome back, and that was quite a drive from Florian Hottie, just outside the box. Jaskalainen, glad to see that one go over the bar.
He was. It was well hit by Hottie. Ben Turner having a few words with the fourth official about that tackle on Harry Buteman a moment ago.
On the spin, Dyche clears, bounces towards Moore, doesn't react quickly enough. But again, the away side pick up, and they just seem to be winning the 50-50s at the moment, the away side. Odesina trying to pick out Andrews in a halfway circle. Lovely turn from Cook though. The home side looking to break quickly, but Woking get their shape back, and that just takes the sting out of the move. But Hottie with a lovely turn, just has enough space, gets away from Buteman. Pugh out to Capella, back with Pugh again, just forced back into his own half, and sees Johnson as his best option, the goalkeeper, and he sprays the ball right-footed straight to the feet of Chickson though. Andrews, lovely turn from him to Stretton, near the halfway line, dropping deep as Buteman comes forward, makes himself available near Moss, down the right-hand side, picks up now, checks his run, still up against Pugh. Bounces off the Town player. The Wales under-21 international. In fact, scored on his debut against Albania. He concedes the throw. Level with the 18-yard line. Down the right-hand side for Woking. Stretton there, just trying to flick the ball back to Moss, and I can tell Ian Nicholson was frustrated with that. I think. But Jack Stretton, to be fair, was trying to make things happen, but on that occasion it just didn't work.
No, to be fair, I think he's been pretty energetic this half, looking to make things happen, but that ball just didn't come off. It's as if the two players were on a different wavelength. So but back with Woking. Gorman there with the ball up in Moore on the end of it.
Moore is battling away, but Moss stopped his run, and the pass went beyond him. Another frustrating moment for Woking. They've considered a throw, but at least it's well inside the FC Halifax Town half.
Yeah, and if you looked at probably the possession statistics and the territory statistics, Woking would be on top. They haven't threatened hugely, and Halifax are dangerous on the break.
Andrews with a pass inside towards Kelly Evans. Senior trying to shake off Kelly Evans, only succeeds in giving away a corner.
Better from Woking, good probing ball there by Jamie Andrews. Dion Kelly Evans couldn't get on the end of it, but Halifax gave away the corner.
But what I've liked about Woking so far, Ian, is the calmness about their play. They're being very calm, they're looking to probe and make things happen, but it's not hurried, it's not untidy. There's method to it.
Yeah, there is method, and I think it's been much of the season. It's been similar, and it's just looking again for those moments of magic around the box.
Apologies, Ian. 6 Woking players inside the 6-yard box. Gorman's going to swing this one in. In fact, he takes it short towards Andrews, back towards Gorman. Bends ball and takes a slight deflection towards the near post. Doesn't quite reach Buteman. Straight into the arms of Sam Johnson.
Yeah, that's a well-worked Woking move. It's been successful on a couple of occasions. The short corner to Andrews, lays it off to Gorman, who swings the ball in. It wasn't a bad ball in, but Johnson was able to get there first.
Great closing down from Andrews. He didn't give Jenkins a moment's peace there, just beyond his own 18-yard line. Cummings again. Coming down the right-hand side. Gets it to Smith in a congested area. Gets it out towards Capello. Up against Moss. And Moss has got to be careful here. This is how the goal was conceded. Forces him wide. He's near the byline as Capello still keeps it in play. Near the byline, cuts the ball back. Geish blocks it somehow with his legs. That was a little untidy, but it was effective all the same. Back towards Hottie now. Hottie allowed to strike forward on the edge of the box. Waters. Back to Jenkins. First time ball to the left hand side. Now with Capello again, stretching for the ball. Infield to Hottie. There's now Town just ping the ball around with some neat first time passes. Jenkins steps on the ball. Out wide once again towards Hottie. Cook makes a run inside the box.
Well defended there by Gorman. Stuck to his man. Was brought down for his efforts. And Woking get a free kick to sort of relieve their lines.
But I also sense, Ian, that I think Town seems to be quite happy just to sit back and almost hit on the break.
They are, and that's quite a few teams have done that against Woking this season. So yeah, very much the same pattern. Again, Michael Doyle has a lot of options on his bench to change things and freshen them up.
Jaskalainen clears with the header though for Town is Will Smith. Waters back at the club, battling for it, almost gets away from Geish. I think the referee wanted to play advantage, but then brings it back. Free kick for the home side.
Yeah, I'd say the referees actually handled this game pretty well so far, and how often do we say that and then it comes back to bite us? I think particularly in the later stage of a game, a lot of referees, whether it's tiredness or concentration goes, but certainly up to now I think he's handled this game well.
And the referee at the moment is just speaking to both Odesina and Gorman. Plenty of positives to take from that 4-all thriller in midweek against the Southampton under-21s in the National League Cup. Stretton making his first start, scoring in that game. Alan Judge returning to the club, came off the bench as well. The way they came back from 2 goals down, went 4-2 up, pegged back up 4-all, but won on penalties. Hottie's going to take this. Remy raising both hands, so this may well be a routine move. Swings it towards the penalty box, headed upwards by Cummings. Away with it though is Kelly Evans. Doesn't quite find Stretton, but Stretton battles for it. Ahead of him though is Senior. Here's Pugh up against Moore. Turns, gets it back to Johnson, and he swings it down towards this near side. As Kelly Evans somehow outjumps the much taller Cummings. It's pumped down the right hand side by Town, cleared by Chickson, straight to the feet of Senior though on the right hand edge of the box as we look, and Kelly Evans is absolutely furious with the referee at the concession of that free kick.
Looked very harsh that. He won the ball, he kicked the ball away, and then the Halifax player went down, the referee gave the free kick. I've just praised the referee, so who am I to criticise him?
So a moment for Woking to be really focused now, defending this set piece down the left hand side. Beautyman offering the one-man wall just to give Jaskalainen a little protection at his near post. And now looks like Michael Doyle, following that decision by the referee, is about to be booked. Michael Doyle, who, that really surprises me because he strikes me as such a mild-mannered man, and yet here he is getting a yellow card for remonstrating with the referee.
He's mild-mannered, but he's supremely competitive, and that must have been something that the fourth official heard because the referee is far too far away. And But whatever, it's a dangerous free kick this for Halifax.
And Jenkins, the former Leeds United player, again, both arms raised, swings the ball in towards the far post, headed away by Working. Great defending from them. Kelly Evans with the clearance, volleyed back towards the left-hand side, but that's going to go out for a goal kick. But that was really well defended, Ian Nicholson.
It was well defended, well cleared. Kelly Evans, ball fell to him and he just booted it clear to clear the lines, and then they mopped up anything Halifax could send back to them. So yeah, I mean, Woking, as we've been saying, territory-wise, possession-wise, doing fine. It's just creating those chances.
Johnson, Kelly Evans, I should say, finds Moore, lifts it towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Buteman back to goal, back to Andrews now, to Gorman. Tries to, well, I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. I think he was trying to lift it towards either Stretton or Buteman, and it was just too heavy. Straight into the arms of Johnson, and FC Halifax Town are still leading Woking by 1-0, heading into the final 5 minutes of the first half.
Yeah, and it feels like a very similar first half to several this season, really, with Woking doing quite well possession-wise, but conceding the goal and having it all to do to really get back into the game. But here comes Moore.
Moore trying to get away from Odotoro, who was clearly holding him back, and the referee
very good
wanted
referee
to play advantage, and will now bring over the central defender playing at right back today, and he's going to be booked for that.
Yeah, that was very good refereeing, because you could see Dion Moore, who's worked very hard this half, was working away, trying to get possession, and two players around him, one of them holding him, and the referee gave him a chance to get advantage and then called it back.
Another update, possibly the final one of the first half, with BBC Radio Surrey coming up. Well, FC Halifax Town had a decent set piece opportunity, and now it's Woking with their opportunity. Yes, but this could be a chance for them, Tim. They have a free kick halfway inside the town half at the moment. It's partially cleared away, so still no change to the score. Heading into the final 5 minutes of the first half. That goal from Capello, still a difference between the sides. That free kick coming to nothing, by the way. Not much has happened since you were last with us. Hottie with that venomous effort that just went over the Woking crossbar. Woking still enjoying some decent possession, but they haven't really carved out any clear-cut opportunities lately. But Michael Doyle, the Woking manager, has found his name in the book for dissent, we suspect, following a decision that went against Woking. But even though Woking are enjoying very much the lion's share of possession, Halifax, when they do come forward on the counter-attack, do look very dangerous. Woking still trailing by 1-0. Here's Pugh inside the Woking half as Cook drops back into Senior. I should say that's Smith. Waters just tries to get onto a pass down the right-hand side. Across, though, is Odesina. Capello, lovely ball inside now. Down the right-hand side, finding Jenkins. Waters, now Hottie. Cook's available, making the run. To his right is Cummings. Doesn't see him as an option. Tries to get away from Andrews. Andrews does really well. Now Stretton, almost with a chance to break from the halfway line. And he would have had more available as well, but Town, just in the nick of time, get the ball away.
Yeah, Cook really got into trouble there, and Stretton was so close to getting it to Moore, who was breaking free, but not to be.
Odotoro, lovely run into the path of Cook, and they pick up the loose ball again through Waters to Cummings down this right hand side. Senior, the ball in field as Waters goes down under the challenge of Chickson, who's crossed earlier in the half. Certainly had Johnson scrambling towards the back post, and Town once again have a a free kick in a very similar position to the one they had about 2 or 3 minutes ago, as we wait very shortly for just a sign to tell us how much time we're going to have at the end of the first half, and it's just going to be 2 minutes. It's a first half that's kind of flowed pretty freely, although we did have that injury to Andrews. Hottie bends the ball in towards the far post. The referee has seen something straight away. Free kick for Woking, who's still trailed by 1-0.
Yeah, and it's been much the same all half really, and Halifax their game plan seems to be to soak up the Woking pressure and then hit Woking on the break, which they've done successfully once. And again, a lot of thinking at half time for Michael Doyle as to how to really set up for this second half, to try and shake things up and change the pattern of play, really bring a bit of unpredictability into the play.
Jaskalainen with a clearance beyond the head of Moore. It's Kelly Evans just switching flanks, gets it back towards Jaskalainen, right into the feet of Chickson, picks it, pings it down this near side, doesn't reach Moore, but Gorman can gather, does well just to get a pass between two Town players towards Dyche, and now with Chickson again. Just running towards this near side, stops his run, gets it back in field to Dyche. Plenty of men forward for Woking, but they are taking the time. They're still inside their own half. Back with Dyche once again. Gorman available inside the centre circle, unmarked. Chickson does well just to keep that one in play. The downward header from Senior. Clears it for Town. Straight onto the head of Cummings. Back it comes with Moss, as Moss and Kelly Evans switch wings, as I say, but that's the final piece of action at the end of the opening 45 minutes, and Woking's woes on the road continuing at the moment. Still one win away from home so far this season. They trail 1-0 at the break. Capello, the scorer for the home side, cutting in from the left hand side, got away from Moss and just found enough space to unleash a right-footed drive, which seemed to almost make Jaskalainen think the ball was going wide, but the ball drifted into his bottom left hand corner. That's the only difference between the two sides at the break. Town very happy, it seems, to hit Woking on the break. Woking have enjoyed some decent spells of possession, and during the early stages of the half they certainly had 2 or 3 decent opportunities, with Stretton certainly testing Johnson with one effort from a tight angle. A lovely smart turn from Dion Moore also produced a save from Johnson. That was straight at the keeper. To be fair, there hasn't been much else from them from an attacking perspective, to be fair, but at half time I think Woking know they are still very much in this game, trailing by 1-0 in Nicholson.
Yeah, very much in the game, but it's been probably a similar team talk to many games this season, with Woking behind at half time, and Michael Doyle looking whether he'll freshen things up immediately or whether the same 11 will come out, but looking to do something that can really cause more damage going forward. I think Stratton's worked hard, and a couple of half opportunities he's had, he's made them count, but yeah, Woking really need to look for the formula really to get back into this game.
Many thanks, Ian. So that's half time. We'll be back for a full match second half commentary online on the BBC Sport website. In the meantime, we will just give a half time report to our colleagues at BBC Radio Surrey. We'll see you again in a few minutes. Yeah, it's It's a familiar one, Tim, but let's not give up. Let's not give up hope just yet. There is only one goal in this so far. FC Halifax Town 1, Woking 0. The only goal of the game so far coming from the Belize international Angelo Capello, cutting in from the left-hand side. Got away from Moss. Found a little space on the edge of the area, right-footed effort. Didn't appear to be the strongest of shots, but it was enough to beat Jaskalainen inside his left-hand post. Woking have forged 2 or 3 decent opportunities. Jack Stretton making, starting today up front alongside Dion Moore. He's looked pretty lively at times. He's forced the townkeeper Johnson into a smart save from a tight angle. He unleashed another effort that went wide. Dion Moore, again, very hard working, industrious, lovely smart turn from him. That was straight at Johnson as well. Few opportunities for Woking, to be honest. They look very composed on the ball. But the thing is, FC Halifax Town are more than happy to absorb the pressure. Michael Doyle, incidentally, was booked before half-time for remonstrating with the referee. But there's still life in this game, Tim. Woking are trailing, but still very much in the game. It's FC Halifax Town 1, Woking 0.
Your brains are probably heavily encouraged. That's the Amber Happy Talk birthday. We're about to make a presentation to Aussie to mark this auspicious occasion. And it's the members of the Supporters Club Committee presenting with a shirt with its name on the back. That's Aussie our groundsman for 35 years. And the winning ticket, £170, £476, along with the grand £200, has now been claimed. Thank you for supporting this draw.
Oh wow. No, that night weren't a good player. No. He was about 6'6". Well, he was built centre half. He was a pillar and over. Walt Walker got 5 million when he was under training. And he was on big money as well. And he was a scorer. And I remember we went to that. And I always said that to people, I play it off, you don't play under it, try to play live, you don't play under it. Welcome back to the Shea for second half commentary between FC Halifax Town and Woking from the National League. FC Halifax Town with that slender 1-goal lead scored by Angelo Capello inside the first 15 minutes. And we're about to get underway once again. No changes it seems from either side. At half time, I'll run you through both sides in just a moment or two. Weather conditions still pretty cloudy. It's getting dark here now. Floodlights really belting down at the moment here at the Shea. So Woking then with a chance of a move down the right hand side. That's going to go out for a goal kick, so they line up with Jaskalainen, and we think a back three of Odesina, Dyche and Chickson with Kelly Evans and Moss as the wing backs. In midfield, Gorman as the defensive midfielder, Andrews, Buteman pushing further forward behind the front two of Stretton and Moore. For FC Halifax Town, Johnson in goal. Back three of Cummings, Smith, Odetoro. Across the middle, Senior, Capello the goal scorer, Jenkins, Pugh, Hottie. And up front, Waters and Cook. Here come the away, the home side I should say. Waters just trying to bring the ball in field with a lovely turn. Doesn't quite work. Odesina battling for the ball. Gives it straight back to the home side though with Hottie. Up against Gorman. Gorman reacting to Hottie there. He just has to be a little careful with his discipline. He has given away the free kick. The referee isn't going to take any action. But with the first chance of the half, it's going to fall to FC Halifax Town.
Yeah, dangerous position again. It's going to be swung in. An out-swinging free kick, I would imagine, which can really catch defences off guard.
Working, defending on the 18-yard line, but that was a complete waste from Hotti, straight into the arms of Jaskelainen. Jaskelainen tries to get it onto Stretton. Shots of handball against Kelly Evans. Play continues as Cook peels away from the halfway line, down this left-hand side, finds Waters in space. Odesina comes across, closes him down. Back with Jenkins now, runs back towards the halfway line. A few groans from the home fans, and again further groans as Town are working their way backwards. But that's down to the way Woking are closing them down. Jenkins though recycles the ball, comes forward now, edge of the area, turns, gets it out towards this left-hand side. The ball is bent in, headed away though by Dyche. Great header from him, just as enough to clear. The towering header from Odotoro tries to put Woking under further pressure. Chickson then clears with his head over the halfway line. And Buteman is giving away a cheap free kick there.
Yeah. Right
inside the centre circle.
Yeah, his shoulders drop. He didn't argue with the referee. I think it's just probably frustration. And Halifax has started this half very well. They've built a couple of dangerous attacks.
He swung to the far side by Will Smith.
Matt Ward ready to come on. You can see down there below us, which is a very early substitution.
Makes you wonder why that wasn't done at half time.
Yeah. I mean, we've already had a change between Moss and Kelly Evans and Chickson, so Chickson is now back three.
Buteman chasing for the ball. Hotti goes down, lands on one knee, wins the free kick. So as you say, Ian Nicholson. Ward will be coming on. Matty Ward, the first substitution for Kelly Evans. Your thoughts on the change?
Yeah, I think it's a good change. I don't think Dion Kelly Evans has had the greatest of halves so far, and already they changed around. He started in the back three, then went into left wing back and then right wing back, and Ward at wing back gives pace, which Woking haven't really had in their attacking. They've been trying to build attacks through a passing game, and it just hasn't been working so far.
Town with a free kick. They want to get on with things, and now they can. Down the right hand side, Cook very close to the corner flag, does well to keep the ball in play. Senior across towards Capello, left it towards the edge of the area, nodded away by Dyche, cleared by Gorman, up towards the halfway line, then it's thumped back forward by Pugh, bounces a couple of times straight towards Jaskelainen. It's been a little untidy so far at the start of this second half, but lovely show of pace from Ward with a step over, gets away from Capello, then wins a free kick, and already with this introduction he is showing something different.
Yeah, he does bring something different, and he's a young player. It hasn't worked every game, and often he's been stuck near a halfway line. Where he comes alive is around the box, and Woking need to get further up the pitch to get the best from Matt Ward. But free kick here, that's going to be Andrews, I think, to take it from deep in the Halifax half.
And he'll be swinging that in towards the heart of the Town box, looking for Dyche, cleared by Town, falls at the feet of Capello, running towards his near side, delays his clearance, gets around Gorman, Still keeps it in play. Odesina with a quick glance gets it back to Jääskeläinen. Clears first time. Right-footed down this near side once again. It's left by Pugh towards Capello. Capello up for it. Nodded on by Ward though. Down this right-hand side. Stretton puts Odetoro under pressure. And in fact under so much pressure, he charges down Odetoro's clearance. A throw for the home side, but once again the busyness of Stretton is effective.
Yeah, he's got energy and he hung on to his player there. In the end he gave away a throw, but he stopped the clearance, kept the ball deep within, kept Halifax on the back foot.
So unlike the first half, I'll do my best to keep an eye on the other games in the National League. One scoreline at half-time that certainly caught my eye was Ebbsfleet leading 1-0 at Tamworth. Quite some game at York, by the way, wasn't it? With York City beating Hartlepool by 5-3 to stay top. Woking have won another free kick. Just a couple of yards in from this near side, down the right. Gorman's over it. So is Andrews. Andrews runs over the ball. Gorman, flatter delivery to the edge of the box, volleyed away by Cummings. Straight towards Gorman again. As Woking come forward again. Down the far side. And I think, was that an offside given against Woking?
I didn't see the flag go up, so whether there was a tug on a shirt or something like that, I don't know. But just looking at other options really for Michael Doyle. We've got Alan Judge, who's back, but obviously plenty of experience in midfield. Lewis Walker up front, and Tom Leahy, who I think is a good-looking player, although he hasn't really had much of a chance to show it so far.
Ward from quite a deep-lying area, swinging the ball out to this near side. Falls behind Stretton, but Stretton gives him the thumbs up anyway. Could clearly see what Matty Ward was trying to do, just to get things moving. And I think the patient, calm approach that Woking certainly showed in the first half can only work to an extent.
Yeah.
And the longer this game goes on, they need to possibly revise their strategy, and with obviously the change that we've seen at the start of the second half, Michael Doyle is only too aware of that, as Moore drops short. Lovely turn from him, then suddenly stops, pokes the ball almost between two Town players, but Gorman collects. Now with Ward, drifts it in towards the 6-yard box, looking for the run of Harry Beautyman, but it just bent too much away from the diminutive midfielder and straight into the arms of Johnson.
Yeah, but a good little ball in. Good thinking. Probably wasn't the right delivery.
Town giving the ball away again. Really poor ball from Matty Ward, to be honest. The idea was right, but the execution was really poor. The moment he struck that ball, it was far too heavy for Jack Stretton.
He's looking to get the ball forward though a lot quicker than has been the case earlier in the game, and whether that's just Matty Ward or team instruction.
Throwing for FC Halifax Town. They'll be very, very wary of what happened in their last home match, when they looked well on course to notch up their 4th win here at the Shea this season, but they were punished. They also fell 2-1 at Rochdale, so they've come into this game on back-to-back defeats. Only 3 wins in 9 here at the Shea. Jääskeläinen clears. Again, opting to go down this near side. Lovely flick on by Stretton as Ward almost collects. Odetoro tries to get the ball up to halfway. Gorman picks up the loose ball, pings it down this near side. Stretton should keep the ball in play. Early ball in towards the near post as Moore just couldn't get to it in time. with a bit more pace, he may well have done. Odotoro clears first time, up towards halfway. Powerful header from Dash, who's been really commanding at the heart of the Woking defence this afternoon. Moss with a pass, shot to Chickson, then runs down the right hand side, gathers now, comes back toward the halfway line. Woking still playing, it seems, with 4 up front at the moment. Very positive intent being shown by Michael Doyle. Woking losing by 1-0. No clear chances at the start of the second half so far. Odesina loses out, but behind him is Gorman, lifts it first time, again down the right hand side. So much of the action at the start of the second half here, Nicholson, has been down the right hand side.
It has, and it's Woking noticeably more direct now, getting the ball forward quicker and more directly, and looking to see, as you say, 3 or 4 players playing up front.
Ward looking busy, looking positive. Clipped towards the edge of the town box by Gorman. Across though is Will Smith, the centre back for Town, throwing for Woking. Just looking to see where the Woking fans possibly are. They might be towards the far end of the main stand, although it is a little difficult to see from our commentary.
That's where they normally go.
Position, but they'll be here, no doubt, getting behind their team. Ward clearly holding back Hottie, who was trying to race away, and he's going to be cautioned for that. And because that was well inside the Town half, was that one worth taking for the team?
Probably not. It's probably frustration. I would imagine he'd lost the ball and wanted to stop the breakaway, but yeah, as you say, a breakaway at from that position probably wouldn't have done too much harm.
So 13 minutes gone in the second half. Still FC Halifax Town 1, Woking 0. A goal from Angelo Capello inside the first 15 minutes. Woking again enjoying more of the ball in the second half. That certainly hasn't changed. They're trying to play with a little more pace, but again Town come forward looking dangerous on the break. So still no change since half time as Odesina goes lunging in on Cookie. He may well be booked for that, so no change since half time. Tim, no chances to speak of either, with Woking certainly enjoying plenty of possession. One change has been made though, with Matty Ward coming on 3 minutes into the second half. He has certainly added some injection of pace down the right hand side, just looking to get things moving for Woking. But as I say, Tim, yet to test Johnson in the second half, but still very much in this game. Coming up to the hour mark, FC Halifax Town 1, Woking 0. Free kick then for FC Halifax Town. And I'm pretty much right in thinking that Odesina was booked, Ian, while I was giving that update.
He was, yeah, he was came away, sort of lunged in, caught the player. Again, I would say that was as much frustration as anything, having lost the ball.
Again, Beautyman covering the near post. It's swung in away from the far post. Clear header coming in from Cummings, but he was, if anything, he directed the header away from goal down towards this near side. But in any event, the offside flag goes up against may well have been Cummings himself, or at least one of the Town players in a central position. 1-0 still for FC Halifax Town, and we are going to see a double change for Woking, with both Leahy and Walker coming on. Just looking at Michael Doyle, right hand in his pocket, he's gesturing towards one of his players. We know that Dion Moore is coming off, and Beautyman is also coming off as well.
Yeah, he's had a quiet afternoon, Beautyman. It hasn't really worked for him, and he's a great team lad, and he's a very good player, but it just hasn't worked for him today.
So Dion Moore is still searching for his first Woking goal. But those two changes with Walker coming on. Is it Leahy or Leahy?
Leahy's the, well,
Walker scoring those 2 goals in the National League Cup. And here's Leahy at the moment. Edge of the box, finds Walker, first time shot, scuffs it. Could fall towards Ward, just inside the penalty area. Down this right hand side, first time cross from Gorman. Flights it right towards the far post. Moss couldn't get to it, nodded away by Senior at the back post. Throw for Woking. Almost a chance of an early cross, turned down by Andrews. Moss gets the ball in field to Gorman, lovely passing field to Andrews, shoots, it's well wide. But that's more like it from Woking, they still trail 1-0.
Much better from Woking, it's a much more attacking setup now with Walker, Leahy and Stretton all up front, Ward out wide at one side, and Andrews and Gorman really holding the middle of the park now, and obviously Dan Moss back more as a left wing back, but it really is a much more attacking setup as Woking look to try and get back into this game.
And you can hear the fans groaning again, because despite the lead, things aren't really going their way. They are struggling to make an impact, but just as I say that, there was a chance of a break, but the free kick goes against Hottie just inside the Woking half. So 3 changes now made by Michael Doyle, all in the second half, and of course he's acutely aware of the situation. They need to change things, they need to freshen things up, look at things from a different perspective. And Jääskeläinen will be behind this free kick. Towering header, that time from Odetoro. Really leapt up high to win that one. But he's back with Woking again. Ward knocks it infield as Jenkins is frustrated with the referee, and I think I can see that, to be honest, because it did look as though he caught the high boot of Andrews against his chest, and yet Jenkins has been booked.
Yeah, I think they're also going for the handball, and a lot of hands went up immediately for handballs, so you have to think there was something there.
Meanwhile, Town are going to be making a change themselves. Chris Millington will be bringing on Owen Bray, who's recently just signed a new deal at the club. Joined the club in the summer from, he was released by Barrow. He signed a new deal only yesterday. Andrews sweeps the ball into the penalty area. It bounces dangerously ahead of Johnson, who races off his line and collapses onto the ball. But just a chink of life.
Yeah,
just a chink of life for Woking there.
That was a testing ball in from Andrews, and Johnson, who's a top keeper, but Johnson was able to get there and snuff out the danger.
Walker, lovely turn, finds Gorman, intercepted brilliantly though by Smith into the centre circle. To Cook, back now with Smith, launches it onto this near side. Backpedaling was Odesina, did really well. He didn't know there was an offside flag coming up, but that was great defending from him. And in fact he's a little frustrated because there was a chance of a break, but the whistle had already gone.
Yeah, you can see that was directly in line with us. You saw he was onside, and at the last minute Odesina moves up, leaving the leading player offside, and
so the first change, as I say, for Town, and it's Jenkins coming off. One of 4 changes for them today. He goes off, replaced by Owen Bray. 65 minutes gone. Woking attacking right now. It could be a chance with Lewis Walker, the substitute who has just come on firing his effort wide at the near post. He scored 2 goals in midweek in the National League Cup. He certainly has a point to prove. He has come on with Tom Leahy as Michael Doyle looks to spice things up. They are enjoying still the bulk of possession. The home fans getting slightly annoyed with their players because they don't seem to be really doing much with the ball. Coming forward, they are still very dangerous on the break, it has to be said, but working very much the team with a lion's share of possession. But they do now need to start creating those chances to get themselves back into the game. But definitely working are improving. They are looking quicker on the ball. They are looking to get the ball forward quicker as well. But they are still trailing by 1-0. And there we go, and that is just what Lewis Walker can give you, given half a chance.
Yeah, getting to the near post. He was well marshalled though by the Halifax defender, and but that came from Matt Ward getting free down the right and firing in a quick ball.
Woking still really struggling to create those clear chances. That's just the first of the second half, really. Early ball looking for Leahy. Again, it's cleared by Town. Gorman, low pass, drilled to the feet of Ward, cutting in from the right hand side up against Capello, using his pace, continues his run up to the byline now, gets the cross almost in, but that was great play from Town just to clear that. May well have been Pugh making the interception there. Gorman, lovely pass, picks out Ward, beats the offside trap, whips the ball in low, and crashing in there. Well, now was that Walker once again, corner for Woking.
Yeah, again, good delivery from Matt Ward, and Walker was zipping in, well marshalled again by the Halifax defence, but good pressure now coming from Woking.
Well, this is more like it. Walker already looking in the mood, and he's just stood on the edge of the 6-yard box, a very congested 6-yard box at the moment. Most of them at the back post. It's towards the back post now as Dyche nods the ball back in. Could fall for Gorman, tries to bring the ball down, brings it for, and it's just beyond the head of Leahy. Gets it away from Johnson though, forced away from goal. Ward leaves it now for Andrews, swings the ball in, fisted away by Johnson as Gorman tries to get the shot in. But the free kick goes against Woking inside the box.
Yeah, but again, much better from Woking, really putting the defence under pressure, which really hasn't happened until the last 5 or 10 minutes, and it's more direct and playing with 3 up front, which I guess does leave you a little bit vulnerable, but needs must, and Woking beginning to ask questions of Halifax's defence.
Town just looking a little shaken in the last couple of minutes, but Woking have to capitalise on that now. Continue with the pressure. They're near the halfway line now, building from the back with Chickson, the player on loan from Notts County.
Very nearly a beautiful ball.
Volleyed away by Town, drops at the feet of Cook. It goes down under the tackle of Odesina. Just lent into him, concedes a free kick. Just has to be a little careful, he's on a booking of course. Beyond the halfway point in the second half, just coming towards it now. Give you some latest scores from the National League shortly. Just wait for this free kick, which Hottie will take. Backline for Woking, 10 yards beyond the 18-yard box. It's flicked in by Onitoro. I don't think he meant the ball to come back inside. Had he controlled it, he would have had a shot at goal probably. Capello drills a ball right into the Woking half once again. But here comes Leahy. Goes down under a heavy challenge.
Yeah, and that's
from
got to be at least a yellow.
Odetoro. Now Odetoro's been booked, you know. It's Cummings, in fact. It's Cummings. Cummings with the foul. Free kick for Woking. There's going to be another substitution. Not sure who this is for. Well, it's going to be for FC Halifax Town. And it may well be Aidan George, the one coming on. The young striker. Still FC Halifax Town 1. Woking 0. Capello with a goal after 14 minutes. Boston United 1, Dagenham and Redbridge 1, Eastleigh 1, Braintree 1. Fylde leading Gateshead by 1 goal to 0. We'll just break off as Woking take this free kick. Andrews will be swinging this one in. Dyche on the edge of the area, running in now. Cleared partially by Pugh onto the chest of Stretton. Leahy wins it back though. First time ball in from Gorman. Deep. Head flicked on by Dyche towards Walker. Picks the ball back in. It's scrambling around inside the 6-yard area. Cleared hurriedly though by Town at the back. Here are Woking again. Ward, plenty of space. Drills the ball in towards the far post. It's flicked up and behind by Senior for a corner.
Desperate defence there by Halifax, and it was balls bobbling around, and the Halifax fans now beginning to get on the back of their own team, because this is a lot of Woking pressure coming now, and a good ball in as well from Matt Ward, which was testing, and eventually they scrambled it away from a corner. It's going to be Gorman with the corner in a moment, but much more pressure now coming from Woking.
Just Gorman and Odesina back. Gorman tries to drill a ball in low. It was far too short for Andrews, and all of a sudden Town are breaking. But that's really good recovery from Andrews, just to knock the ball out for a throw. But Town were just on the ropes for a moment, but they came out all of a sudden and looked lively, looked threatening.
Yeah, the short corner routine there really didn't work. It was a bit pedestrian, and now looks as though Alan Judge might be getting ready to come on as well for Woking.
Well, the goal scorer's coming off for Town, Capello. George is the man to replace him. With almost 30 minutes gone in the second half. And that substitution has now been completed. The trees behind the stand on the far side, very, very still, showing plenty of leaves still. Odetoro into the feet of Hottie. Lovely ball to Cummings now. Cummings tries to get around Chickson stands up to him well. Up to Moss. Can't get the ball away as Senior blocks him. It's going to be a throw for Woking.
Yeah, Adam Chickson did very well there in defence to manage the ball. He was under a lot of pressure, and Woking then with Dan Moss did well to sort of
Woking need to get back into this game, but things are improving for them. They're looking more like it up front. Can't play from Andrews. Gets it back to Jaskelainen over the halfway line. Stretton can't get on the end of it though. Andrews gets to it first for Woking, still inside their own half. Do you see a Woking player down? It's Gorman. Took a sore one. Might just have been feeling his left ankle. Seems to be moving a little better now.
Woking, number 19.
So Judge is going to be coming on, the experienced midfielder for Woking, back at the club for a second time, made 3 appearances for the club last season. On he comes. We're just going to have another update with BBC Radio Surrey very, very shortly. Coming to the closing stages of this game here in West Yorkshire. And they're still down to that goal scored after just 15 minutes from Angelo Capello. But the changes from Michael Doyle have certainly had something of an impression. They are looking a lot livelier up front. There was an almighty goalmouth scramble inside the FC Halifax Town box. That didn't really materialise into anything at all, but just moments later a cross from Ward had to be headed away by the defender Senior out for a corner. Walker is looking lively, as well as Ward, as I speak, is just trying to break into the Town box. That doesn't come to anything at the moment, but we could be heading for an exciting finish here, Tim. Woking still trailing by 1-0 with less than 15 minutes to go. Woking once again looking to get on with things with Chickson, making a good run down the left hand side, pings the ball in straight onto the head of Cook, though gets the header away. Odotoro in the heart of the box, heads upwards, thumped away though by Cook, as Dashius has to be careful. He's got Waters nearby. Dashius been superb today. I've been impressed with his performance. Great control by Leahy, but Town come away with it now with Bray, plays it square to Cook, now playing much deeper. Crossfield ball, finds George, cushions it brilliantly, steps in field now, running at the Woking defence, tries to link up with Waters. Thankfully for Woking, the move breaks down, and now Andrews can come forward. As the ball just takes an awkward bobble in front of Ward, goes down, wins the tackle. And we know the problems that this pitch has had in the past, Ian, but we have to say today the pitch has bared up really well.
It has. It's beginning to colour up a little bit now, but you'd expect that, we're well into November now. But Woking continuing to press.
Andrews picks out Ward to the left, first time cross, blocked by Cook. Now playing much deeper. The throw taken quickly. Andrews. A short pass to Ward once again, cutting in from the left hand side, crosses towards the near post, straight into the diving arms of Sam Johnson. 1-0, Woking still trail. Such an important period coming up for Woking, Ian, with 3 out of their next 4 games coming at home.
For Woking?
Yes.
Yeah, no, they will really need to count. I think if the score stays like this, then I think the Boston game is going to be a big one for the club to really get back into winning ways.
George just gives away the free kick. Blatant push into the back of Odesina. And Woking really are getting plenty of bodies forward. Here's Leahy down the left hand side to Moss. Moving the ball around well, still on the edge of the Town area, but Bray is there for Town. Lovely spin from him, as that's misjudged by Dyche. The pace of the ball seemed to come across Waters. The referee was happy for play to continue, though.
No, I think Waters was playing for that very much so.
Here's Ward, good turn of space, is he going to shoot, goes down under a late challenge, that's going to be a free kick, definitely, as he was just playing it in field. wins a free kick. Now this is a decent position. It's about 2, maybe 3 yards outside the penalty box, just to the right of goal.
And very much in Dale Gorman territory. He scored a beautiful goal the other week, albeit it didn't really count because it was late in the game, but it was right in the top corner. And Judge also is no mean free kick taker. Looks like it might be Alan Judge.
Town are going to form a 4-man wall, possibly a 5th, although Cook just removes himself from the 4-man wall. Leahy, who wants to make a nuisance of himself, stood in front of the wall. Andrews to the right of the ball. Judge, the substitute, stood to the left, further away, hands on hips, up he comes, right footed, bends it straight into the wall though. The wall does its job, and he was just trying to bend it towards the keeper's left hand post, but the wall does its job.
The wall did its job, and it was a tall wall, wasn't it?
About 8 minutes to go. FC Halifax Town 1, Woking 0. Andrews drops towards his near side, plays it square across the halfway line. The cushion pass from Judge, now out towards Chickson. Gets it towards his near side. It cannons off the back of Leahy, doesn't find Ward. Back with Odesina, first time ball. Out towards Gorman, down the right hand side. Ward now, up against Cook. Edge of the area, cuts in field. Judge pokes it towards Andrews, who falls inside the box. I think he was looking to get the ball back towards Judge. The move breaks down, and Bray goes down now in the tackle. And the home side win a free kick as they are going to make their 3rd substitution. Oluwabori will be coming on very shortly for Oditoro.
Yeah, it's been Woking much more threatening now and probing, trying to get those opportunities. They've caused a few Halifax hearts to flutter, but at the moment it's to no avail, and they'll keep plugging away as Halifax make another change.
Another striker coming on, so an attacking change from Chris Millington, the town manager. But the clock is ticking against the away side. Wins have been in short supply very much lately for Woking, but I think they'll be happy with a point in this game if they could get one. Oluwabori into Waters, turns away from Ward, gets the shot away, wins the corner though.
Dyche again, who, as you were saying earlier, has been excellent this afternoon. He's been good all his time at Woking, but I think he's really developed and come on really well this season, and it's not often you see errors from him.
Not really seen much from Town in the second half, but they have a corner.
All sorts of delaying tactics going on here, I think.
Hottie is available as an option if they wish to take it short. Bray is over this. Just one Town player in the 6-yard box at the moment. Well, I don't know what they were trying to do there, but they have at least won another corner,
which is going to eat up the time again. It's everything from standing on the ball, talking to the other player, complaining that the players aren't 10 yards.
Corner taken again. Hottie again tries to get the ball in early that time, but they have won a throw, and this is just going to eat up some more time. Woking are boxed in. They can't do much at the moment.
Ball thrown to the player who then drops it, but then decides he's not going to take the throw after all and leaves it for someone else. It's almost like a copybook exercise on different routines you can do to manage a game.
Cook gets the ball back from the throwing. Another throw. Well, they're doing a great job wasting some valuable time here. It's almost looking a little misty under the lights here at the Shea. Cook does brilliantly, gets the ball and it's behind Oluwabora, shoots! Oh, it's gone wide. On the spin from the young striker, but lovely play from Cook, getting the ball in, but there was a lot of work for Oluwabora to do.
Probably Halifax's only real danger point of this half, is it? For Halifax, probably I think it's their only real point of danger. I mean, they've had a bit of
pretty much, yes. Yes. Here's Andrews inside the centre circle, plays it to the left. Back with Deitch. Now with Odesina. Dropping short is Ward and he picks up now. Then runs down the left hand side. Walker spins. Gets it back to Ward. Clips it forward. So now into the dying moments of the game as Woking tried to burst forward down the left hand side. Still no change to the score. It's a frustrating afternoon so far for Woking. They have definitely improved in the second half, but chances still very much at a premium. Since you were last with me, Oluwabora, the Halifax Town substitute, almost having a chance to double the lead for the home side. Just picking up a whipped-in cross from Cook, back to goal, and his shot on the turn went well wide. I'm just seeing now that we may well have 4 minutes of added time to be played, with Woking still trailing by 1-0. That's not been confirmed yet, by the way. Swung out towards this near side with Ward. Lovely play, gets away from Cook, gets it in field, it's intercepted by Bray, only to be picked up by Deitch. Out towards Chickson. Steps in field, then turns 360 degrees. Gets it back to Deitch. Odesina stepping forward into the town half. 4 minutes to go. We are now into injury time. If Woking are going to score, it has to come really soon. The flighted crossfield pass is just too heavy for Ward. Out it goes for a goal kick. Filed, we're telling you, we're 1-0 ahead against Gateshead. They now lead 3-0. Maidenhead 1, Forest Green Rovers 4. 1-1 between Rochdale and Sutton United. 6 goals between Solihull and Altrincham, 3 apiece in that one. Southend 0, Yeovil Town 1, and Tamworth have equalised against Ebbsfleet 1-1 in that game. Deitch wins a free kick. It's inside the Woking half though. Now into injury time. Coming forward is Chickson. Applies the brakes on the halfway line. Gets it back towards Deitch. They need to get the ball forward. What can Deitch do? Looking for some movement. Leahy in a central position. Walker looking to join the attack. It's all rather slow, pedestrian at the moment. Odesina cuts in field away from George. Picks up the return ball from Gorman. Pokes it back towards Deitch. Woking just need to get on with things at the moment. And again, it's back inside the Woking half. They're playing the patient game. Drilled forward by Judge. onto the head of Moss. He didn't know where the ball was though, and Bray comes away with it now for FC Halifax Town as Oluwabori picks up down the left hand side. It's up against Daesh. Daesh does brilliantly, pokes the ball away from the striker, picked up by Bray though in a central position inside the working half. Decent crossfield pass from Hottie, and Leahy concedes the free kick down the far side. So frustrating for Woking.
Yeah, exactly. What you don't want in added time when you're trying to get the ball back is to give away a free kick, which could probably eat up another minute. And in this added time, Woking really haven't seemed to have a sort of strategy really for breaking down Halifax. You would have thought that probably just even long balls in and looking for just the urgency, but hasn't been there.
Just 4 wins from 16 games in the league so far this season. 17 points so far. And now the home side have won a free kick right in the depths of the Woking half in injury time. And you just wonder how Woking are able to get even a goal scoring chance from this position.
No, fans beginning to go. We're probably into, I would imagine, the last minute, and Halifax right down in the far corner. Now Woking have the ball.
They do. Inside their own box. It's lifted forward. It's above the head of Walker, but he could get to it. Thumped away though by Smith with an uncompromising clearance. Plenty of home fans have made their way right to the edge of the stand here. Stood up as Daesh, almost in the spot of bother, gets away from Waters though. As Odesina allows the ball just to run towards him. The clearance from Cook through the legs of Walker, clipped forward by Bray. No one ahead of him though. Jaskalainen out of his goal, beyond the penalty area. Looks up now, and there goes the final whistle. It's a tame end to another game for Woking. They have fallen to another defeat on the road. Their search for another victory away from home continues. Just one win so far for them on the road, and that stretches back to the back end of August. They fell to an early goal from Angelo Capello in the first half. They did have a couple of chances during the opening 45 minutes. Stretton tested Johnson at the near post, Moore as well, with an effort that was straight at Johnson as well. In the second half, very few chances to be fair. They looked as though they had more impetus going forward, Woking, with some changes. Walker came on, he had a chance at the near post that flashed wide, that went for a corner as well. Leahy as well was introduced. Ward, I thought, had a decent 45 minutes, but all to no avail sadly for Woking. They have fallen to another defeat in Nicholson.
Yeah, very upsetting afternoon really. It's followed a pattern. Woking aren't getting hammered by anybody. It's nearly every game is by the single goal, and you see the efforts of the players to try and break it down, but today Halifax, who we were saying have a very strong defence, handled everything that was being thrown at them, and some big games to come now for Woking. So as they look to return to home turf.
Many thanks, Ian. So a frustrating result, a frustrating afternoon for Woking. They have gone down by 1-0. And as Ian was saying, they have a very important, a very crucial game coming up next at home against fellow strugglers Boston United. And the next 3 out of 4 games are at home. coming up this month. So just a single goal settled this contest, but it has fallen against Woking. They have lost by 1-0 here at the Shade. Thank you for listening to our online coverage online through the BBC Sport website. In just a few moments' time, we will give our final report to our colleagues at BBC Radio Surrey. Thank you for listening this afternoon. Yes, and sadly, Woking's woes away from home continue. They have fallen to a 1-0 defeat here at FC Halifax Town. The game settled in the first half with a strike from Angelo Capello, the Belize international, darting in from the left-hand side. He found a little pocket of space after getting away from Dan Moss, and he picked his spot, beating Jaskalainen inside his left-hand post. Woking did have a couple of chances during the first half. Stretton tested Johnson at the near post. Moore with a neat spin and turn. That was straight at Johnson as well. In the second half, Woking certainly enjoyed more possession. They had more zing about them going forward. Michael Doyle making a few changes up front. Lewis Walker had a couple of half chances at the near post, but chances once again were at a premium, and Woking have now fallen to another defeat. Just one win now in their last 10, just one win away from home, and that goes back to the back end of August. Ian Nicholson, just very quickly, your thoughts on a very frustrating afternoon for Woking?
Yeah, and it's been a rerun of several games really where Woking have, largely held their own, had lots of possession, not really hurt the opposition, and then gone behind and had to then come from behind, and Halifax have a well-marshalled defence, and although Michael Doyle had 3 up by the end, it still wasn't enough to really open up Halifax, and they ended up holding out for the win. So Woking return to home turf, so that in the next few weeks, so that will obviously give an opportunity to really turn this run around.
The next 3 in 4 are at home for Woking, starting with a massive one against Boston United next weekend. But it has finished here. FC Halifax Town 1, Woking 0.